Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar on patent landscape analysis in 6 simple steps, the second in our new series of strategic IP webinars. We're so happy to have so many of you joining us today. My name is Caitlin Kavanagh, and I'm the Global Marketing Manager at Mindsoft. I'm here today with Alexander Spencer, who is a Regional Account Manager. He will be shining a light on the best methods for undergoing a patent landscape analysis. We will be doing a Q&A at the end of the session, so if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat box and we'll get to them at the end. That's all from me, so over to you, Alex.
Good afternoon, everyone. So in this webinar, I will show you how to do a patent landscape analysis in 6 simple steps using PatBase Express to demonstrate this method in practice. PatBase Express is an easy-to-use global patent database with coverage of 106 jurisdictions, including 74 full-text collections. PatBase Express is a fully web-based solution, making it easier to access patent information anytime and anywhere, and simplifies sharing findings. The platform supports patent search, review, sharing, and analyzing for business-critical information. So what is a patent landscape? Patent landscape reports are a popular research vehicle for providing an overview of patents in a particular technology area. This is also known as a state-of-the-art report. Landscape reports can cover hundreds or thousands of patent documents and, as a result, typically take at least 1 to 2 weeks to complete. So what is a patent landscape used for? Patent landscape reports provide an ideal way to highlight innovation and R&D efforts that are taking place in a field of interest by presenting a graphical display of the intelligence that can only be gleaned from studying patenting activity in a way that can be understood by non-patent professionals and non-scientific colleagues. Landscape analyses can, for example, be used for informing policy discussions, strategic research planning, technology transfer, or to analyze the validity of patents based on data about their legal status. They can also be used to define and discover white space in a technology field, understand the current competitive landscape, predict where a market is heading, identify acquisition, licensing, or collaboration opportunities, spot trends in your field to aid investments, or find active inventors in a particular technology area for recruitment purposes. Now that I've explained what a patent landscape is and why it's useful, I'll move on to the 6 simple steps to conduct a landscape analysis. For this webinar, my example landscape topic will be insecticides. Step 1, define the goals. It's important to understand why you want to conduct a patent landscape report before starting to research. Define the goals of the report in advance. Some key questions you may consider are: is this a growing area of interest? What are the fields of current interest? Who are the key players? Where are the key players filing their inventions? Who are the key opinion leaders in this field? And what is the legal status of the families in this area? Step 2, get a broad overview. Doing some general research around the subject matter is essential to get started with a landscape report. Basic online research by keywords or known companies active in the technology area can help you identify high-level keywords and key patents. Having a clear understanding of the technology area you will investigate is essential for analyzing the final landscape. Also, investigating non-patent literature is useful to identify keywords. Here, I've used the non-patent literature module in PatBase Express to search across trusted scientific resources. Step 3, define your initial search strategy. Following the preparation stages, devise a comprehensive search strategy by compiling a list of general keywords used in the technology area and build on from there. You'll be looking for keywords, patent classifications, and active companies and inventors. For this example, I'll start the search using Chemical Explorer, Mindsoft's chemical research tool, that specifically searches for any chemical terminology or structures in patent documents. It can be used together with PatBase or PatBase Express. In my research, I identified the chemical ceromazine, which is used in insecticide. Entering this term into Chemical Explorer automatically generates the chemical structure. I can then use the substructure search function to search for the core part of the chemical structure across patent documents. The patent matches from this search can be viewed in PatBase and PatBase Express with just one click. To build a comprehensive keyword search strategy, the PatBase thesaurus can be used to generate relevant synonyms across multiple languages. This helps to keep the search broad, ensuring no relevant results are excluded prematurely. Also, searching some basic keywords in a patent database in the title, abstract, and claims can help to identify more keywords to expand your search. Classification codes are internationally used codes to classify technology areas in patents. Classifications can be used to broaden a search to encompass a full technology area or narrow a search strategy by filtering out noise from a result set. Classification Explorer can be used to identify codes which can help broaden your search strategy and find patents that may be missed by a keyword search alone. Other methods of developing a search include specifying various assignees and inventors, limiting geographical areas, removing utility models and design patents, or limiting publication dates. Focusing a search strategy can be difficult and needs to be checked at every step to ensure relevant records are not eliminated. Step 4, run an initial search. Once a solid initial search strategy has been created, it can be run on a patent database. In PatBase Express, you can run complex or simple searches using the advanced search form, which has multiple fields for defining search criteria and enables users to combine previous searches from the session, like my earlier Chemical Explorer search, for example. Briefly review the results from your search, and if approximately 80% or more of your results appear to be relevant patents, it is usually enough for a reliable patent landscape analysis. A quick way of determining this is to open the Optimize function on PatBase and expand the technologies category, whether it be IPC or CPC classifications. This list shows the top classification codes attached to the patent families found in the search. The list is ordered by most frequently occurring technology codes in the results set. Make sure the most frequently appearing classification codes are all relevant, or identify new classification codes to include and exclude, of course, the irrelevant ones. If the technologies listed do not accurately represent the patents that you wish to analyze, you will need to adjust your search strategy accordingly. Step 5, analyze and optimize your search strategy. Add additional keywords, relevant classifications, assignees and inventors to your search strategy, and filter out irrelevant results to achieve a clean final landscape search. In this step, the patent text needs to be reviewed in more detail to judge the relevance of results. As many highly technical patents can be hundreds of pages long, a tool like TextMine is helpful to interrogate the patent text for relevant key terms. TextMine is integrated directly into PatBase and allows you to identify and review chemical structure hits and other scientific terms in context. Also, identify the most frequently occurring assignees and inventors and ensure that areas in which they work are relevant by investigating their patent portfolio and websites. Then be sure to include their patent portfolio in your final landscape. PatBase Analytics allows you to create an overview of an unlimited set of patent data to quickly identify the top assignees, inventors, classifications, and drill down on the interactive graphs to find more advanced information or rerun searches. Step 6, visualize and review. Generate simple statistical graphs to visualize your landscape search. View data from several angles for example, jurisdiction or year or assignee, and at multiple levels by patent families, applications, grants, etc. To reveal answers to the key questions created in step 1. Answering these questions can provide you with an actionable innovation intelligence. For instance, looking at whether an area is growing in patents and which fields have the most patenting activity can help to strategize where to focus R&D efforts. Identifying key players in an area can help spot opportunities for collaboration, licensing, or even find new competitors entering the field. Also, revealing the top inventors or key opinion leaders can be useful information for a company to headhunt individuals who are already influential in the field. So, to recap, the 6 simple steps for a patent landscape are: step 1, define the goals. Identify the key questions your landscape analysis will answer. Step 2, get a broad overview. Do some research around the technology area to collect relevant keywords, companies, and patents. Step 3, define your initial search strategy. Start creating a comprehensive search strategy on a patent database using the collected keywords and assignees. Add classification codes or inventors to broaden the search, and optionally narrow the search by jurisdiction and publication date. Step 4, run an initial search. Review initial results and adjust your search strategy if less than 80% of results appear relevant. Step 5, analyze and optimize your search strategy. Clean up your landscape by making final adjustments to the new search strategy. And finally, step 6, visualize and review. Visualize and review general statistical graphs to analyze results and answer key questions from step 1. Once you have completed these 6 steps, you will have a comprehensive landscape analysis which can be used to support strategic business discussions and understand the competitive landscape by presenting a graphical analysis of intelligence that can only be obtained from studying patenting activity. Landscape reports are an ideal way to highlight the innovation and R&D efforts that are taking place in your sector of interest in a way that can be understood by non-patent professionals and non-scientific colleagues alike. So that brings us to the end of this presentation section, and we will now move on to the Q&A session.
Thank you, Alex. That was great. Before we do move on to the Q&A session, I've included my email address on this slide, ckavanagh@mindsoft.com. So please do drop me any additional questions or feedback after the webinar to this address. Also, Alex spoke about PatBase and PatBase Express during this session. For anyone who is not already a user, we do offer commitment-free 2-week trials if you're interested. Again, just drop me a quick email and we'll get this set up for you. Okay, let's move on to the Q&A session. Alrighty. So firstly, I've seen quite a few questions coming up asking about getting a copy of the recording or the presentation for the webinar. So yes, we will send out a recording automatically to everyone who's registered. And if you would like a copy of the presentation, please email me at the address on the screen at the moment and I will send you over a copy. Okay, Alex, do you have any examples of what a final landscape report would look like?
Well, yeah, there's several places you can go to if you want to see what a landscape report looks like. You could start off by going to the WIPO website. Definitely a great place to start. Actually, you could also go to the Mindsoft website. If I'm not mistaken, I think on the Mindsoft website, it's under the Resources tab. We have various different reports that have been written up by some of our colleagues. Yeah, I highly recommend checking those out.
Yeah, just to add to that, we have some reports that we've actually added quite recently. So there's one which looks at the technology area for headphones over the last 20 years. And we also have one on the cybersecurity landscape, alongside a sort of tutorial guide which shows how to recreate that landscape, which you could apply to any technology area. So do check that out if you're interested. Okay, next question. Can you see up-to-date information on competitors? I'm guessing that's referring to in PatBase or in PatBase Express.
Yes, no, absolutely. And it's also very important to note that both PatBase and PatBase Express, the data is updated daily. So you can absolutely keep up to date with your competitors' activity. You can also use the corporate tree within PatBase to run a search on all of the subsidiaries of the particular competitor. And you can use these documents to run a thorough competitor analysis. It's also actually really important to note that, and obviously Mindsoft customers are probably already aware of this, but for those who aren't, you can configure alerts here with us. We offer that, so that's another way of really keeping abreast of what's happening with your competitors.
Great, and another one which we've had a couple of times. When will PatBase 2.0 be released? Just to explain for anyone who's not aware, PatBase 2.0 is our latest update and our biggest ever update to PatBase. So yeah, over to you, Alex.
Yes, no, we're very excited to announce that we will be releasing both PatBase 2.0 and PatBase Express 2.0 on the 7th of September, so not too far at all. Yeah, we're very excited to announce this, and to follow on what my colleague was saying, Ian, PatBase 2.0 is much faster analytics tool. There's no loading times, there's no limits to the number of patterns that can be analyzed. It allows for publication level searching as well, in addition to, of course, the extended family. And we have combined the Latin and non-Latin database. So no, we're very pleased and really excited to be launching the new PatBase next month.
Yeah, for users as well, we do have more information now about the update on the Mindsoft Knowledge Hub, which you can access from PatBase and PatBase Express. Okay, how do you ensure no patents are missed in your research?
That's a very good question. Well, I mean, do your research and really review your results at each step would be my advice. Definitely use a combination of keywords and classification codes, synonyms, 100%, and often searching in different languages as well is always a good thing. So yeah, I'd say research and review your results at each step, combination of keywords, classification codes, synonyms, and also different languages. That would be my advice.
Okay, I've just got one here that I'm going to answer. Someone is asking, how would we recommend sharing charts and graphs and including them with your written report? So the graphs that we've kind of shown in this presentation, they're all from PatBase Analytics v3, and you're able to share a link to the graphs, or you could download them in an image format, or you can also actually generate full reports. So they'd be automated reports through that. Another one here for you, Alex. What is the difference, or what are the key differences between PatBase and PatBase Express?
Right, well, it's very important to know that the databases are the same in as much as the data within them is the same in both. It's mostly an interface difference. I mean, yeah, to clarify, it's the same high quality and comprehensive data, but PatBase has access to more extensive tools which are useful for regular searchers, such as like Citation Explorer, and as we discussed earlier, the PatBase Analytics version 3. PatBase also allows for command line searching, so you can do really much more advanced stuff. In the same breath, PatBase Express, easy to use, there's no training required, people can jump straight in, so it depends on the requirements.
I will take this one, give you a bit of a rest. So someone is asking, are there capabilities for grouping different tech areas and for comparison between them? So yes, in analytics, you can group by classification code, and then you can run a comparison analysis between them. It's really simple to do, and actually with the new update, you can now compare up to 4 different analyses at one time. So yes, to answer your question. Finally, I've seen that someone was just asking what is the Knowledge Hub, which I mentioned earlier. So this is a resource that only our users have access to because it's really product specific. But you can access it on PatBase under the help drop down in the toolbar, and in PatBase Express, I believe it's in the footer, or also under help. So yeah, we've actually had quite a lot more questions coming in, which is amazing. Thank you so much for the response. I think for the sake of timing, I'm going to, well, I think we'll maybe leave it there actually, but we will get back to everybody else. I can just see quite a few of the questions are a bit complex to answer in the time that we have. So yeah, however, if you would like to be kept informed of any future webinars, please just pop yes in the chat box, and I will make sure that you are kept up to date. But yeah, other than that, Alex, thank you so much for joining us on today's webinar. And thank you to everyone else for joining. And I hope you will enjoy the rest of your days.